Another common mistake that many people make when testifying in court in front of a judge or a jury, or even during their deposition, is refusing to answer questions to which the answer is obvious. Well, Mr. Jones, isn't it true that generally the sun goes up in the morning and it goes down at night? Well, I don't know, or I'm not sure I can answer that question, or I don't know how to answer that question, or not necessarily. The only answer that makes sense, the only acceptable answer is yes, generally that's the case, because we all know that that's the case. So let's look at one good example from politics of where the person who answers questions refuses to answer a question to which there's only one or two possible correct and obvious answers.
I had to stop, or let's go to the next claim. The audacity to say that black people can be racist too. Mr. Cisneros, can black people be racist too?
Okay, so the question is very simple. Can black people be racist too? There are only two possible answers that make sense in this situation. Either you say yes, or you say anyone can be racist. A person of any race can be racist. Or you can combine both of these answers and say yes, like everyone else, black people also can be racist potentially. Now let's listen to the answer.
I've already stated, Congressman, that I didn't agree with her statements.
But I'm asking about that provision. Can black people be racist?
This question is about me or my personal beliefs. But again,
you're the leading official over DEI. A racist person who works for you puts out these tweets, and you won't say whether you agree or disagree.
I told you,
Mr. Chairman, I just want to remind members to observe standards of decorum.
This is decorum. It's my time. Can black people be racist?
I do not agree with that tweet.
Do you agree with that statement? I'm asking you a statement. Can black people be racist?
I'm not going to answer that, Congressman.
So imagine you have a workplace discrimination case with an allegation of reverse discrimination. Let's say you have a white employee who complains that he or she has been treated differently and worse than members of other race at his workplace. And let's say this DOD guy is a manager who is testifying or who is being deposed, and he's being asked, do you believe that white people can be discriminated, or do you believe that black people can be racist too? And instead of answering a question, he says, I'm not going to answer that question, or I'm just going to talk about this tweet instead of answering the question. Again, that's going to make the witness who is answering questions look evasive, untruthful, and this type of testimony, this type of behavior is going to cast doubt on a witness credibility and on a witness truthfulness. Now, of course, the plaintiff, the employee in that type of case, can also fall into the same trap of refusing to answer questions, the answers to which are obvious and they're given. For example, if you have a worker that is supposed to be at work at 9 o'clock in the morning because he's supposed to open doors and let the public in because that business provides some very important service, and let's say he's being asked on the stand, would you agree that opening the business and being present at your workplace timely without being late is very important to the business? And if instead of saying yes, he says, well, you know, other businesses open at 10 o'clock. Well, on Saturdays and Sundays, we tend to open later. Well, sometimes I don't feel like getting up, or something evasive like that. It's going to make him look, it's going to make that worker look really bad and evasive. Another very simple example from the world of slip and fall injuries. Let's say you have a manager of the property testifying, and he's being asked, Mr. Property Manager, would you agree that if a liquid is spilled on the floor, it tends to make that floor more slippery and more dangerous to walk on? Instead of simply saying, yes, generally it's the case. Well, there was no liquid on that floor. That's not the question. The question is whether you agree with a general proposition. Well, it depends on what kind of liquid it is. Well, it depends on what kind of floor it is. Well, it depends on how long that liquid has been hanging there. these are evasive answers that will necessarily hurt your credibility and will make you look bad in front of a judge or a jury. If the answer to a question is obvious, even if it doesn't serve your side of the case, you're much better off answering it directly and moving on. Thanks for watching.